Hello everyone and welcome back to Austin Talks, where today we are covering the Friends video. Well, the Friends overview, plots and theories video. Friends is probably one of the most most popular sitcom or rom-com that there is out there, and obviously there's many theories that have been created from it. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. Now, obviously, we start off with season 1. Now, like any other start to the series, for the first few episodes are really slow, but then the series does it does really get onto a whole new rhythm. But it does make it a really good show. And this is actually one of the only few series that actually does that. Like, it gets into a good rhythm. And I like Rachel's development because she goes through the from a spoiled wedding runaway to an independent who lives with Monica. Not really backing the point that I'm trying to make, but okay. But this is also the season where it is discovered that Carol, Ross's long-lasting ex-wife, was not the person he thought she was. This was a sort of obviously tarnished the marriage, tying up to a divorce. But the best episode of the series was probably when Chandler starts to smoke again, mainly because Chandler's he's just such an idiot. He's projected as an idiot, and he's just such good because he is just really stupid about it. And it's one reason I resonate with the character, because obviously I can be stupid when I want, but obviously smart in situations, and that's him in a nutshell. That's why I think if I took a test, I'd be him, not Ross. Now, after Joey's major break in a movie, he then has all the money to buy a house, a fancy house that is, and all for himself. And then this obviously stems from an argument with Chandler. Very, very sad. Now he moves out, but from from their banter's friendship, you know that it's going to this isn't the last straw, and it is one reason I cherish their friendship. It's a really rich and good friendship. It is also during this scene that Rachel and Ross finally get together, and the beginning of a painful and long-suffering relationship. This relationship between the two does put a strain on Monica and Ross's, and she claims that he is being overprotective of her, which I guess that can be the case. But the last thing I would like to talk about is Phoebe's gets her big break with her new music video, Smelly Cat. Who here actually thought that would be a hit? It was smelly cat, what are they feeding you? It was how? Just very, very, very confusing. Now, it was actually, season 3 was okay. It was one of those, here and there, but it was during the season that Rachel and Ross had a bit of a conflict with what they considered a break and all. But this was also the season that Monica had to leave Richard. They were a really good couple, and even the times when they were together afterwards, you knew that they still liked each other, but knew that it was for the best that they were apart. This also is the reason that we also saw this season Frank Jr., Phoebe's adoptive brother, and this is when he has a girl and asks his half sister to have their kids. So yeah, and also think this was a nice touch in terms of storyline, but there is no denying that yes, that is just a bit weird. But yeah, I like how because Phoebe has probably got the biggest heart of everyone. That's why I like her character. It is a very good source of character development because she is truly a great person. During this season, Chandler constantly nags Monica if there was any scenario where they would be together. Because when they were on the beach, he gets he has a whole thing and everything, but she says no. But then they are slowly distracted when they get stung by a jellyfish. So yeah, but this season does really revolve around the idea that they are together, and that this is the lead up to when they first actually get together in London. Now, it wouldn't be nice to think it'd be annoying if they would just like one time. It was just a one-time thing, but at the end of the day, they did like this. It was like a long. It ended up being a long-lasting relationship, which is obviously like very very good news. That's one reason I like their relationship, because it's built on, as much as it's like stems from their time in London. It's obviously a long-lasting, happy, not forced relationships, I always say, other than like Rachel's and Ross's. Season 5. I like season 5. It was during the season that the 100th episode actually took place, and then 3 triplets were born. And this is actually, I noticed this. It's funny to think about, because as 100 is a triple-digit number, conveniently, don't you think? It's just a little convenient how triplets and then triple-digit, yeah. Now, from the beginning of the season, Chandler and Monica were keeping relationship in a secret, but then Ross peeks through his new window in his new apartment, because this is when he gets a new apartment, and then whoops, the whole secret is out, and it's it is during this season that they finally learn how they truly feel about each other, but about Chandler and Monica, when they try and do this whole they don't know that I know that they know that I know. It's like that episode was quite funny, but then it reveals how much they really do care about each other. But it's really happy to see. And I mean, as much as the funniest part was that, hey Chandler, get over here, I'm gonna kill you. It's like, no, we actually like each other. Oh, Chandler, you're such a great guy. It's just the change is so funny. I mean, and to me, it's character development, acceptance, shall we say. This is also reflected in season 7 when he goes, when he says, man to man, if you do anything to Monica, I will hunt you, and then he just laughs. That's another funny thing that I thought. This season starts off in Vegas. I liked the Vegas episode, but this was a 20-minute episode, and I swear there was more drama in this episode than actually in the whole season. Monica and Chandler planned to get married because they were ready to, but then they decided not to, because it's not what they envisioned. But while they two didn't get married there, both Rachel and Ross did. But they and that kind of for the first few episodes, I think from 1 to 5, it does revolve around that. But the rest of the season is very much about Monica and Chandler, and it is like they do wonder, what to do if they ever did get married, and then soon enough, season 7 comes round, and then hooray, we have another couple in the series. Chandler and Monica in this season, season 6 and season 7 are basically one big season, but Monica and Chandler have officially gotten engaged. But they first said to each other that they loved each other. It was pretty obvious that they would definitely get married one day. Now Chandler does bring the better out of Monica and vice versa. I mean, Chandler brings out the nice and loving Monica, and Monica brings out the serious and loving Chandler, not the sarcastic prankster we all know. And this the whole season does revolve around the whole wedding stuff, but the practical elements that are sparkled in the whole thing when with Rachel and Ross nearly getting back together for one night. But I do get what Monica's saying by stealing the thunder. It's the first episode, they obviously get engaged, and then they plan to go out for dinner to celebrate. And then Rachel and Ross we never had our sparkle at the end, and they were planning to do that, but obviously tried to take the thunder away from Monica, which is not, it's just not fair. And I mean, look at her and Melissa. That's another moment that was like stealing the thunder of the show. The last thing I want to talk about is the constant reminder that Chandler resents his father. But this season we do finally see him, and yeah, I have no words. Just take that what you will. Chandler does resent his father for what he did as a child, but this season when we finally do see him, I understand what happened, and I understand his frustration, but hey, you can't turn your back on family. One of the best aspects of the series is Monica's obsession with cleaning. This is one thing that was a major part. I mean, I know it's not a major thing in the whole series, but this was major to me. But it's Monica's obsession with cleaning and then what they find in the closet. I mean, it's what's in my closet or cupboard, whatever. And that genuinely gave me anxiety because I do have partial OCD, where I have it's like waves of OCD. So some days I'll be just regular messy, but then days where I have everything has to be perfect. That's like partial OCD, but obviously not to the extent that Monica does. And this is on a whole nother level. And it is also this season when Monica and Phoebe have a bit of a conflict because we never really see how much Monica and have a conflict. I mean, we've seen Monica and Rachel. I mean, god damn, but these two had a really big conflict where Phoebe finds out that Monica goes to a different massage parlor, which kind of hurts Phoebe as she's a massage parlor. But it's during this session that we find out that Rachel is actually pregnant. And throughout the whole season, this is the key signifier. And while she took the journey, so did Ross. As much as she took the journey, Ross did as well. Ross played an even amount of in this, and it is something that needs to be noted down. Season 9, when season 9 came round, I mean, the drama was it was real. The rom-com genre definitely kicked in with this one. We began the season off with a baby, so hooray! But then the drama actually really does kick in with this season, straight away when Joey mistakenly tries to marry Rachel, and then the weirdest part is she says yes. Confusion, am I right? The best part was that they were able to get the past now, but this issue was the issue in the past. And they then did end up living together from this weird relationship, but it was clear that they were going to get back together. And whenever they were to get someone else, they tried to sabotage each other, showing how deep down they cared. But the season did end with when they were in Barbados, and Rachel did get with Joey. Which I actually never thought would happen, and I know he had a crush, but I never thought it would actually be something that happened with the two characters. But then Rachel went with Charlie, is it? No, Ross went with Charlie, so Ross, I've got the names mixed up there. But yeah, so this one really was a roller coaster of emotions with Joey, Charlie. I mean, there was a whole it was basically a quadrant between Ross, Charlie, Joe, and Rachel, and it all just fell apart really quickly. But these events do lead us into the beginning of season 10. Unfortunately, the final season. This is one of the rom-coms that actually was the short lasting. The season was one of the best because of the constant nostalgic references, and the emotion in this season was so true and pure, which is actually why I didn't want this to end. I only fully watched the series a little bit ago for the first time, and and the series is a little bit and I don't know what. Again, I watched it a little bit ago, this season really stuck with me in emotion, love, and the most important aspect of the series, friendship. Now, to some extent, you could argue that the series is very family-based as well, because Monica and Chandler adopt kids, and Ross and Rachel with their new baby, and all the links to all these links show a sign of family, and that's why I really liked it. And while they are not all truly related, they still do love each other in their own way, in their own friendly way, in a way that they couldn't live with each other. So that's why this series is as much as it's funny, it's extremely funny. It's also filled with emotion, and that's why I think that a lot of people do like this series. And now, I only found 5 fan theories because some of them were just really so untrue that you wanted them to be true, but I went with some realistic ones. So I think there's nothing to do but then just get right into it. And obviously, if you have any fan theories, do let me know in the comments. But right now, let's do it. Now, Janice is a stalker and a time traveler. the time traveler, I'll explain that because it's not mentioned here. There have been several occasions where Janice pops out of nowhere and somehow drops back into Chandler's life. When they were together, it was pretty clear that she liked him from the start. It wouldn't be so far-fetched to think that this character has been stalking Chandler since day one. When they were together as well, she said that he loved her, but that was all in her head. So the odds of her being a stalker are looking pretty good right now, aren't they? Am I right? Yeah, I mean, that was pretty standard during the whole series, but she's a time traveler, apparently. Now, throughout the whole series, you can see the characters you can see the characters have aged even slightly from day one. Janice is a character that hasn't. Janice has not aged since. And I think she keeps on going. There's a theory that she pops back in and out of the into this timeline, so she doesn't wreck the timeline, but so she can see Chandler during occasions, and that's why we don't see much of this character. And that's a very, very far-fetched theory. That her being a stalker is not so much far-fetched, so we'll go with one out of the two. Joey and Phoebe are secretly together. Now in the series, Phoebe and Joey have shown to have a nice friendly relationship. Maybe a bit too friendly relationship throughout the series, I think, and that's why they are dating under the table. Weird. What I mean by that is that when they were able to see other people, they were able to see other people and such, but they were together whenever one needed the other, an open relationship sort of thing. If you think about it, these were the only two people to not be with someone by the end, so it would only make sense, right? I always thought maybe there's going to be one point where they do get together and they do have really fun, and there are points where they do have a kiss with each other. And we know Joey likes Phoebe in the sense because she liked Ursula and they look the exact same. So I guess I wouldn't be so far-fetched to think about. So there's definitely potential with this one. It's one of those series that's not continuing, so we probably will never know, but it is a very fair possibility. Oh yeah, I like this theory. Chandler's mysterious job. Ooh. Now throughout the whole series, it is shown that Chandler doesn't know what job he wanted other than being an accountant, but I think he knew more than he was actually letting on. He may have gotten a government job. Another way to look at it is the fact that he had to move to Tulsa at one point. Maybe because he was given an undercover case in Tulsa, hence why he and his company were able to make an arrangement. Throughout the series, his job is very under the nose, not something that we see a lot of, so to think that he could be a spy or agent wouldn't be so far-fetched. But hey, it's just a theory. Yeah, I guess it kind of does make sense. We never really knew much about his job, other than it was it's something to do with business. But obviously he could have done an undercover job in Tulsa as an agent. So yes, very, very valid. But we'll never know. But it's fun. It's a fun thing to think about. It's a funny thing to think about. This one's kind of sad. Ross lost custody of Ben. Now, there's actually two theories that interlock in here. I'm going to go with the other one because this is just sad. Now, from around season 7 and onwards, we very, very rarely see Ben or Carol, so we can only assume the worst. We don't have to assume the worst, but okay, for the sake of this argument, sure. Ben was a core part of Ross's life for a long time, but from the point onwards when he tried to talk about Hanukkah, we never saw him again. This could be due to the fact that either Carol moved on and took Ben with her. That's the theory I'm going with, and then or that Ross lost custody of Ben, or Ben told what you tried to teach them, and then Carol was like, "Nah, we ain't having that." So yeah, but the reason for this is that many of the interactions between Carol and Ross were cold because of the way that Ross and Susan treated each other. So Susan could have finally taken it too far and filed for a loss of custody. But the only thing I have to say to this is poor Ross. Yeah, I'd rather I don't. This is one thing we'll never know, and I'm kind of glad. but I'd rather stick with the theory that they just moved away, because I think it would just be sad to think that that he lost custody of his own child. So yeah, we'll leave that. We'll leave that there. Is this the last one? So wait, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that last one. Oh my god. Yeah. Monica couldn't have kids because of the mocholet. Yep. From season 8 onwards, Monica and Chandler were trying for a baby, but they soon realized that this may not be the case due to their conditions. Well, Monica's conditions. A few seasons before, he took a job interview for a company that was selling mocholet, a very dangerous and something that shouldn't be humanly consumed. Now, this could be what stopped her from having kids, because it said to had many issues, and trying to pinpoint one was an issue. The person who interviewed her was sounding positive. He knew deep down that it was not a good thing to be selling for eating. But for the matter, if only Monica knew, because then she could sue. Now, I like that line. If only Monica knew, because then she could sue. Again, I'd actually want to know if this, at least what the effects of mocholet are, because I mean, this was one dodgy, when she even said it's it doesn't taste too good. Yeah, it looked dodgy anyway, and the way the guy was selling it was dodgy. So it's a curious to think about, but it's also kind of sad, because this guy mainly forced her to try and have some. He was like, no, have some, because I think it could really help the company. Then you've also just stopped her from being able to raise children, children of her own. So yeah, I guess there's pros and cons, or just cons in this situation. So this theory is something I don't want to know, and I think the curiosity would actually be something that's quite good. But did it actually, was this actually the reason or not? So yeah, but again, hey everyone, those are just theories. Well everyone, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And if you never watched Friends, I recommend going and watching it for a good laugh. It's definitely a sitcom and series worth watching in general. And yeah, so without further ado everyone, I do hope you all have a great day, and I will see you all tomorrow with another video. And other than that everyone, I hope you all do have a great day once again, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!